All right, so this is going to be Pokemon Pearl any percent Manipless. So this is going to be a glitch category. However, it is going to be Manipless, so we will have to do some adapting on the fly. You can see my timer set at -1 here. I'm actually going to start time as soon as I click the game here. So 3, 2, 1, go. And then time actually starts on the first white frame, which is why we do -1 there. All right. Yep, this is Pokemon Pearl any percent Manipless. Unfortunately, the mashing at the intro screen is a little rough here. So I got kind of a claw action going on. Basically, we're holding B and mashing A, but also need to, you know, do some touchscreen action and move the cursor at points. So it gets a little funky to how you're using it with our hands, but we get through it. So we're going to pick the girl here. It's a little faster. One character name, which is pretty standard, though since we get a touchscreen, it doesn't have to be A. It could be anything. Because it's just as fast as we can select any character. So it's not too bad. So it looks like we're S, and then I forgot, I didn't see what our rival's name was, like R, maybe? I happen to navigate in the OPQRS range all the time for some reason when I pick these characters. All right, yep, so this is our little TV screen here. After we clear this little screen and a few text boxes, we are going to change our settings. We're going to change text speed to fast, we're going to turn off battle animations, and we're going to make L equal A so that we can mash a little easier. I also elect to move my cursor back up to bag there. Your cursor kind of just stays wherever you kept it, as long as like you don't save and turn off your system. Since we don't really save much in this game, in this run, because it's not particularly long, bag is pretty much primarily where we're going to want our cursor to be at any given point. So that's why I elect to move it up to bag, just to potentially save that later on. But it doesn't necessarily save or lose time to do it that way. This is our rival, Barry. He's a little much, but we love him anyway. So worth mentioning, like I said up the top, this is a Manipless category. So any percent, the standard any percent is manipped. Pretty much can be manipped all the way through like 40 minutes or so into the run. But it, at the very least, has a manipped starter. And how that is done is by setting the DS clock at a very specific time and clearing that red Gyarados TV screen text box at a very specific time, and then walking a very specific path so that it advances RNG the same way every time. That creates a manipulation, so it creates a starter, which is obviously very useful because you know, you get to know what kind of stats you're working with, you get to know what to face, and you can have a more consistent setup route. But Manipless is a little bit more fun because it requires adaptability and changing things on the fly and seeing what it is that you're working with here. Real on my chat says, happy B-Day. I am recording this on Pokemon Diamond and Pearl's birthday, which is September 28th. Happy 15th birthday, Diamond and Pearl. Worth mentioning as well, while we're in Lake Verity here, so we're going to be picking our starter very soon, and then we'll have a fight with a Starly that we have to complete. The starter that we're going to be choosing is Chimchar. Chimchar is the fastest. In a Manipless category, you could really theoretically use any starter. The reason why Chimchar is fastest is because it makes it so that you don't have to capture anything else. If you use Piplup or Turtwig, you're probably going to have to capture something else for the purposes of using some HMs that you need to do to get by certain parts of the run. So it just makes it a little bit more difficult, but they all have their own strengths and weaknesses, but Chimchar just ends up being a bit faster. All right, so let's see here. So because it's Manipless, I don't know what stats I'm going to be working with here. That's pretty bad attack. That's unfortunate. So if our attack is good, we can actually two-shot the Starly. Unless it growls us, of course, which we got double growl, which means we might actually four-shot this Starly, which is really terrible. Wow. Yeah, So we got triple growled, and our attack is bad. So two shot is good. 3 shot is pretty normal. 4 shot I've never had before. So that kind of shows you what we're working with here. It's not the best, but we're gonna do our best. You never know what you're gonna get, you know. So we got this little cutscene here where it's like, hey, why'd you use the Pokemon's? Why'd you use the professor's Pokemon? Those weren't yours, by the way. But it's okay. It's all gonna be good in the future. We're gonna have a little cutscene here. Still, we're walking slow, but don't worry, we're gonna be getting our running shoes here very shortly, and then we'll be kicking it up a notch. Worth mentioning as well. So another thing that you can manip if you're doing the standard 80%. Is continuing to advance RNG in the same way by your movement steps going forward, which means that you can make it so if you move correctly that you don't hit encounters. Obviously, Manipless, we cannot do that. So ideally, we're not going to be hitting many encounters, but you know, it is Pokemon, so we'll probably be hitting plenty. But the fewer encounters, the better, especially at this beginning, because as you could tell, we got our Chimchar, but we didn't get the ability to nickname it yet. That actually comes after we do our first route. Chimchar is an 8-letter word. We're going to be nicknaming Chimchar to a 1-character word. So if we hit encounters prior to nicknaming, obviously it's just going to be even that much slower. So hopefully we don't hit many encounters on the first pass through Route 201 here. Fun thing to mention here as well. There are some text boxes that have a little arrow on the right side of it that indicate to you like, hey, you're good to press A and clear this box. But some of them don't have that. And any text box that doesn't have that arrow means that you can clear it not only with A and B, but you can also clear it with other buttons, like, for example, the directional pad. And if you can clear a box with a directional pad, you will also turn that way in the same frame and save a turn frame. So whenever we can do that, we will. For example, when we left the house there, we cleared it with the down directional button and turned down at the same time so that we could turn in the same frame that we cleared the text box. So saved us a frame. They all add up in Pokemon because, again, you never know what you're going to get. We hit 1 encounter on the way through, so, you know, I feel like it's pretty standard. We are going to have to go through that route again after we finish this section here. Nickname our Chimchar. Again, just a 1-character name. Though if we were doing it in a marathon setting, of course, we could make it so that, you know, bid wars for nicknames. We do that with our main character, our Chimchar, and our rival. We only fight the rival once in this run. But we do have plenty of other challenging fights, so don't you worry. So basically this is like a little, you know, here's your adventure, here's what you're doing kind of moment. And as we exit here, Lucas is going to give us a little tour of the town. So it's a little slow. We don't need to know what a Pokemon Center and a Pokemon Mart is because presumably you've played this game once or twice. But one thing that we will do is we will actually be shopping here. So it is somewhat convenient that Lucas leaves us off in front of the shop because we are going to be using it right away. We're going to be buying 8 potions, 2 antidotes, and 2 paralyze heals. Hopefully we don't need to use either antidote or paralyze heal, but for safety we are going to buy them, of course. Okay. Okay, and that actually uses every dollar we have. That's okay. Money is not too necessary in this run, just a little bit at the beginning. So we're gonna run this way. We actually can avoid all of the grass patches altogether on the way back, which is nice. And then we have to run back home and talk to Mom. Classic Pokemon stuff, basically. Barry's mom is also going to interject here, being like, "Hey, can you give this to my son?" You know, classic parcel delivery stuff. Stuff that you find in a lot of different Pokemon runs. But after this, well, actually there is one more like tutorial like thing that we'll get to when we cross that bridge when we get to it. But after that, it pretty much opens up. There's not too much we have to do for plot. And then we just get a lot of, you know, like fights and fun movement and action. So just got to get through the hand-holdy bits at the beginning. All right. We're gonna again hope for no encounters or very minimal encounters as we go through the same route again. Ooh, that's early on. Not a good sign. 2 encounters so far that we faced. I feel like my average is 3 when I do this run on the Route 201 passes. But you can get a lot. So 3. 3 is pretty bad. I've gotten 0 a couple times. No, actually, I think 0 just once. I've gotten 1 a few times. 2 I've gotten quite a number of times. 3 is the most common, and I've gotten more than 3 a number of times too, unfortunately. But 3 is what we get this time. All right, so here's the tutorial-y thing that I was talking about. Fortunately, we have a unskippable catch tutorial. But one thing I will explain while this is happening is Pokemon Diamond and Pearl is kind of famous for having very slow-moving health bar drains. So like when you make an attack and the health bar drains from that attack, it's very slow. However, if you mash while the health bar is draining, it actually moves faster than if you don't press anything at all. So we do that, including in this catch tutorial. Actually, it's still very important to do that. That being said, it is still slower than other gens, but you know, we want to make sure that we're still paying attention to that. Otherwise, this catch tutorial is unremarkable. It is, I will say, it is not static. So like, for example, that tackle that Turtwig did not do a lot of damage, but he could do over half depending on the stats that Turtwig has. So it's not like it, you know, it hits for the same amount of health every time and works the same way every time, which I think is pretty interesting. All right, so not the fastest so far, but you know, we're making do. Now we got 202 here, Route 202, which has a number of grass patches, obviously. So hopefully we don't hit any encounters, but it also has 3 trainers. The latter 2 are not that scary. The first one is pretty scary. I wish he was the last trainer that we fought, but of course it's the first one. Basically, we're going to be fighting another Starly, level 5, same level as us. Doesn't sound like it would be scary, but we don't have any like fire type moves or anything that hits that hard. We just have Scratch and Leer. And our attack isn't great. So I am going to do something here that I don't always do, which is I'm going to elect to use Leer first turn to lower the defense of Starly, just to help along my pitiful attack. And we got Growled first turn anyway, so it's kind of like a no-nothing turn, but that's fine. Okay, so that did 6 damage. We're going to be keeping an very close eye on health here too, because we do not want to take a lot of damage. We're going to have to heal at certain ranges just to make sure that we don't die. Okay, going okay so far. We're getting a lot of growls, which is good for our health, but bad for killing us. Oh, wow, we got a crit. Okay, that's really good. That fight was actually very, very good then. Good stuff. Good stuff. That was really good. Took minimal damage and got through that fight pretty fast. So next trainer that we fight here, she has 2 Madoofs. Basically, this fight goes scripted each time. We're gonna scratch the first Bidoof probably 3 times, and then after that we'll level up to 7 so that we'll get Ember, and then we'll be using Ember because Ember is gonna have something that's called the same type attack bonus, which is when you use a move that is the same type as you are, that you get a bonus to the damage. So Ember will be very useful as we are fire type. Scratch does not have that same type attack bonus. Yep, this is all pretty standard. Dang. So now we hit 7, we're gonna get Ember. Shout out to my dog Job on the background barking. I don't know if you could hear that, but he's a good boy, I promise. All right, so we're gonna double Ember here. Well, presumably double Ember. We are gonna evaluate what our special is here, which it looks pretty decent, our special attack. So I'm not too worried about it. But we could have really bad special attack, that so bad that we could get stuck into a 3-shot there. But it looks like our special is decent enough. Okay, so movement here is a little finicky. We're actually gonna move down here and then up. And this just last possible tile. This makes it so that we travel the least amount of grass tiles as we can to hopefully avoid encounters. I believe we've hit 2 on this route so far. Again, pretty standard. That makes 5 encounters total. Okay, so this one, youngster Logan here has Shinx. If we get hit too many times here, we're probably gonna have to heal mid-fight because of our health, but that's actually not too bad because we haven't healed at all yet. Usually you can heal a couple times in the first couple fights, so. I'm actually not gonna even risk it. Like, I could technically tank 1 more tackle, but we probably won't kill on the next shot anyway, and then we could get crit, and then, you know, who wants to deal with dying from a crit there, so. Yeah, ultimately was the right move. And then we're still at pretty high health for the next couple fights, so we don't need to heal yet. We probably will have to heal in between the next 2 trainers, but that's, again, pretty standard. All right, 1 more tiny grass patch to get through here. Nice. All right. So 2 encounters all in all is not bad in that area. Plus, combined with the really good youngster fight. What's that youngster's name? I think I have it here in my notes. Tristan? Yeah, seems right. Then, so that was actually a pretty decent Route 202. Now head into the schoolhouse here. Further the story by giving Barry his parcel here. And you can see on the blue mat to the right of the screen there, 2 trainers. We're gonna fight both of them. They each have an Abra. Each Abra spams hidden power. And then once you defeat the 2 trainers, you can get the TM for hidden power. I mentioned that because I'm not going to in this version of the route I'm doing because I'm electing to take a safer route. But in the Manipped version, and even in the Manipless version, oftentimes people will grab hidden power here. And that's because hidden power is a move that's types randomized based off of your IVs. So for example, in the standard any %, since we know exactly what the IVs of our Pokemon is and what we're going to use, we actually know that the hidden powers what the hidden powers move type is going to be, and that move type is actually very useful for fights later on, namely the first gym leader Roark, and the surrounding trainers within. But because this is Manipless, we don't know what our IVs are, and we don't know what typing it's going to be. It's still, if you were going for like a Manipless PB or world record attempt, it's probably still worth going for. But in a marathon setting or a race setting, this is actually a much safer way to do it. So you actually save a little time up front by not grabbing the TM or teaching it. And then you don't have to depend on it. And then, you get to hold on to some moves for later, basically. All right, we're gonna scratch here. Ember here. There you go. All very standard fights. We'll probably heal. Ugh. It's tempting because we'll probably be in Blaze. Blaze meaning when your health is at a certain point, your fire type moves will actually do extra damage. As like a precautionary, like keep me alive kind of way. But I don't think I'm gonna risk it for the rival, because if we get crit on the first hit, we'll probably die, which is not gonna be a good look. So I'll probably just heal it and play it a little bit safer. We'd have to heal during that fight at some point anyway, so it wouldn't necessarily save us a ton of time. What we're doing here, by the way, is we're going to be getting the Poketech, which is required for progressing the story, or else the game won't let us advance. The way we do that is by collecting these 3 coupons from clowns. Just a story beat that we have to do. They each ask you like a trivia question, basically. All of their answers are yes, so it's very simple. Just another like kind of quirky / unique way to give you some tutorialized stuff here. But we get our Poketech. Gives us a little clock at the bottom, so that's useful, I guess. We don't use it in the run for anything, but, you know, that is what it is. All right, so let's actually heal. And then we're going to be fighting our rival. I should have done that in the same menu. I don't know why I didn't. Oh, we're actually going to save here. It says saving a lot of data. Whenever you start a file, it'll say saving a lot of data, and we'll also do that as well when you will use a PC. Luckily for us, we're not going to be using a PC, so that's the first time we're going to get saving a lot of data, and the only time. So that's good, because we will have to save a few times just for safety. All right, so rival has Starly and Piplup. We're going to be using Ember here on on Starly, and hopefully not getting growled. Because in the hidden power route, especially in the Manipped version, the hidden power is actually super effective on Piplup, so you would definitely use hidden power, which makes the Piplup part of the fight very fast. We don't have hidden power, we don't have anything that's super effective for Piplup, so we're going to be spamming Scratch. If we get growled, obviously Scratch's efficacy is going to go down. Luckily, we haven't been growled yet. There's the first one, though. Yeah, they both know growl, unfortunately. If we get growled to a point, it might even become more viable to switch to Ember, because growl is something that affects your attack stat, but Ember is not something that uses your attack stat. It uses your special attack stat. We're not near that point yet. The reason why, there's a lot to consider in regards to that, because Ember is going to give you the not very effective text, but it could have the benefit of potentially burning Piplup, which is going to give you damage per turn, obviously. Yeah, let's see. I'm going to try an Ember here and see what happens. Yeah. So it's not very effective, but it was going to do more damage than the Scratch, so it was still worth going for, because we'd probably have to do 2 Scratches there. All in all, not the worst rival fight, though. Pretty good. All right, so we're through rival. That's always nice. We're gonna take a very deliberate path here above, so we don't hit that trainer, and then we're actually gonna fight this trainer. So another thing that the Manipped version of this route does that we don't do in Manipless is, because we have that hidden power super effective move, we actually don't need to take a lot of like extra trainers in order to grind or anything. We actually fight our first gym leader, Roark, as Chimchar still. However, since we don't have hidden power, we don't have that ability to guarantee anything. We do some different routing here so that we guarantee that we're going to have Monferno for the Roark fight. And not only will we have Monferno, but when Chimchar evolves to Monferno at level 14, also learns a move called Mach Punch, which is a fighting type move that's going to be super effective against rock types, which is what Roark is. So that is what we're doing by taking a couple extra trainers here. We're actually going to fight a total of 4 extra trainers that we might not normally need to fight in a Manipped route. And even if you were doing, if you were doing a hidden power based route for Manipless, based off of, you say you use hidden power and it's not a typing that's going to be advantageous to you, you might divert to these trainers anyway. If you do have hidden power that is beneficial, you would probably still take some extra trainers to evolve to Monferno. One, because it's safer. because you can't guarantee things like damage ranges and stuff like that as you get farther. And two, just because it's effective on, say, like Piplup or Starly at the beginning doesn't mean it's going to be super effective against the rock types, so you still can't fully guarantee things until it's too late. So you probably still take some trainers, but you would take different trainers because you have different efficacies. And for example, we're going to be entering a mine later on that has like some Geodudes and Onyxes. If you have a hidden power that can do enough damage to get through that, then you would want to take those instead because they are faster and they give you more experience. So you can actually fight a little bit less. But in this route, we don't have that as an option. All right, so this is the gate to Oraberg. We get our HM for Rock Smash here, but we can't use it yet because we don't have the gym badge. We will be teaching Rock Smash at some point. Mainly to clear one rock and for, I think, just one fight. Probably. So. Alright, so we got one encounter here. We're going to actually fight this trainer for experience, but also makes it so that, as you can see, I circled around the back of that first Picnicker trainer that was at the bottom of the screen. We're going to have to pass through this gate a couple times, so we'll always have to circle that one. In a manipped version of this route, you would have to circle around both of them because you don't fight either, which is obviously more movement. But we get to not go out of our way so much by fighting this one. And we also need the experience anyway, so it's good stuff. Right. So we scratch here. We could get a little damage, or we might get tail whip. Let's see. Scratch, that's fine. If we had not gotten hit there, I would... So we're going to be taking a Pokemon Center. Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay, we didn't get hit anyway. But yeah, usually that 2 shots. But it 3 shot this time. Low roll. We would have to take the Pokemon Center in Oraberg for safety at some point. I would have elected to take it after the mines if my health stayed high. But because we got hit there, I'm going to take it before, just for safety. Okay. So he goes to show us where the gym is, but then we can't do anything about it anyway. We're going to take the Pokemon Center now. We're going to be fighting one trainer in the mine as well. But the main reason we have to take the Pokemon Center in this route is actually for power point conservation. Mainly for Ember. Because we're going to be spamming Ember a lot, and we would run out of Ember PP if we didn't. So that's actually the main reason. In a hidden route based category, so either the MIPed version or the 80% Manipless version where you use hidden power, it probably wouldn't matter. You don't need to worry about Ember PP as much because you don't use Ember as much when you have hidden power. So yeah, obviously you can hit encounters in here. Obviously we want to see as little as possible, but there's one already. There's 2. Unfortunate. Not the best encounter luck, but what can you do, you know? Can't control it. Yeah, so now we're gonna fight this trainer who has just a Machop. Like I said, my health was like around the half mark. I would have just came in here without healing and then healed after, because there's a chance that we take damage from this Machop and then we'll have to heal it off later anyway. But one, it's a safety measure, not only because like even if we died here, you know, if we got like double crit or something, and we died, I would be warped to the Oraberg Center, so it wouldn't waste a lot of time. It wouldn't be the end of the world. We didn't get hit anyway though, so that's nice. And then there's gonna be 2 gym trainers in Roark's gym. We're gonna fight the second of the 2. So we won't fight the first one. Ugh, 3 encounters, that's not great. Not great. We have to come in this mine to talk to Roark to make him go back to the gym anyway, so we have to go back here. But we hit a trainer on the way for posterity's sake. There's our arc. Hidden Power Route might actually fight a trainer in here, but it wouldn't have fought like a couple other trainers from before. This worker that's coming up that we're passing by probably would have fought. I'm getting absolutely destroyed with encounters in the mine, but what can you do? All right. So the reason why we're heading this way and not just immediately back out is because we're going to get this escape rope so we don't have to head back out. Okay. We're already healed / full health, so we don't have to like worry about taking the center again or something, which is good. And then into the gym we go. Again, we're going to fight the second trainer here, which has a Geodude and an Onyx. You might be wondering, like, how am I going to take him out? Our Ember, because of our level, our Ember actually does a good amount of damage to get by, and then if we get burns and crits and stuff, that's going to also help. So Ember does enough to get by here. Not for Roark, but for this trainer. So as you can see, it's not the end of the world. It's going to take 3 hits, probably. Tackle miss is pretty good there. Just to conserve on health. And obviously, if we get any crits, that's also very good. There we go. And then the Onyx is after this. After this trainer is when we will evolve into Monferno, basically almost exactly on the nose for the experience. Just a little over level 14. Yeah, if you want to give us crits at any point game, by the way, you know, feel free to help a Chimchar out, you know? This looks like it'll probably... Oh, okay, we got the burn. Never mind. I was going to say, this looks like it'll probably 4-shot, but it's going to 3-shot now. Even if it doesn't kill here, it'll kill on the burn. Killed here anyway. All right, so not a bad trainer fight. We did unfortunately take a little bit of damage. I mean, we could have taken a lot more damage here. We actually got pretty lucky. But we are going to heal that off for safety, and then we're going to save in front of Roark too. But here, we're getting our Monferno. We will not see Infernape, unfortunately, so if you're an Infernape fan, my apologies, but we will have Monferno. We will be ending the game with Monferno at level 25, and you might be wondering exactly how we do that, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We're going to get Mach Punch here as well. We're going to teach it over Scratch. Okay. Yeah, we really did not have used many potions, which is great. Save here for safety. It's all about being safe in marathons, right? All right. So Roark has 3 Pokemon: Geodude, Onyx, and Cranidos. They can do a hefty deal, and based off of how powerful our attacks are, we're gonna have to adapt a little bit on the fly, especially when it comes to Onyx. Onyx is a particularly tricky one here. Geodude is pretty straightforward. A crit would be great. Wow. Oh, it didn't kill though, so it didn't really help. Actually, it hurt us, but I think will it still kill from here? Let's see. No, it won't. So yeah, it actually that crit hurt us. If it was gonna crit, we would have hoped it would have died, but because it hit to healing range, it used the potion instead and wasted an extra turn. Okay, so Onyx is gonna be interesting here. So we're actually gonna start off by using Taunt for the one and only time that we're gonna use it for the run. That just makes it so that Onyx will not be able to Screech us. Because it can only be taunted into using physical type moves. All right, let's see what we get here. That's really low. We're gonna Leer. Taunt wore off. Is that enough? No, it was not. I should have leered again. And we got the defense. Still healed. I didn't think... I was wondering if Roark would bother healing there. I'm actually going to heal here myself because we got the Screech. We'd probably die on Cranidos. We might still take hefty damage here anyway. It might not matter. Yeah, but it was still a little bit higher than we would have been. So it was still worth taking the heal there. But yeah, we had a pretty low roll on that first one. I thought maybe that was just a low roll, so we could have got a high roll with the leer. But I probably should have just leered twice. Would have made the fight a little bit faster. But, you know, it's hard to say. Without knowing exact stats, it's hard to figure out what is the best move to do. All right, so for Cranidos here, we're going to leer. Hopefully you don't get something that's too devastatingly painful here. Let's see. Pursuit is fine. Even with Screech, it's not bad. And then we're going to Mach Punch, and that should be the end. Let's see. Yeah, okay, we're good. We got through Roark. Not super effectively, but we got through. Pretty slow fight, but we got through. A little bit of a slog. All right. Roark is somewhat of the gatekeeper in these runs too, so you know, when at least you know, maybe other runners feel differently, but whenever I get past Roark, I breathe a little bit of a sigh. It's not safe by any means, like completely free, but it is safer, so I feel a little bit better. All right, so now we're going to shop. Oops. We're gonna buy 2 supers, and we're gonna spend the rest of our money on repels. 6 should be fine. But always re-up if, you know, something goes awry here. But should be fine. Okay. So it doesn't matter. I'll probably just wait until I get into the cave. But once we get into the cave, we're not only going to repel to not hit encounters, we're also going to teach Rock Smash over Taunt. Oops. All right, so we're going to repel. Ooh, I should have done that in the different order. Oops. Right, so Rock Smash. Over Taunt. Great. And then, like I said, our movement is decently free here. And since we repelled, we don't really have to worry about anything. We fought these 2 trainers. We just got to make sure we go around this one so as not to hit an extra one. But we're pretty good. There we go. A little rough on the movement there. Okay, so we get a double battle here. It's really not much of a consequence. We're just going to Ember to win, more or less. Our health is like a bit low, so I'm like ever so slightly worried, but not too worried. I'll probably end up healing before we fight Mars, which, you know, we'll get into who Mars is in a little bit. But yeah, we've got a double battle with Team Galactic here. Gonna Ember the Wormpole, seems pretty obvious. Take one out before it has a chance to move. Of course it attacked us. And of course, Turtwig used Absorb, which is like the slowest move to use because it's not very effective and it has the energy drain text. That's alright. Not everything can be super speedy. Alright. Fury Swipes we don't need. So we will not be teaching that. Coming up after this, we have a little bit of cutscene here, so I'm going to explain. We're actually going to be encountering the first of our spinners in the run. Spinners, as I'm sure you've probably seen in other Pokemon runs, they are trainers who spin. They don't just stay stationary, they spin. So you could have a chance as you're passing by for them to turn and look at you. We're going to be trying our best to make it so that we have as safe as passes as possible. There is obviously no super guarantee, but as long as I execute well, it should be fine. We're going to be passing by 4 spinners total in the run, as long as we don't have to like double back and or do something weird. Okay. Come on. Forgot to repel. You're supposed to repel on that tile when you do that. Forgot to do that, but we did pass the spinner safely, so that's nice. We do like that, at least. That is actually an antidote there, so like, not that we could have used any antidotes yet anyway, but like we could also pick up that antidote as opposed to, you know, buying some. All right, 2 successful spinner passes. All right, so we're in Floroma. We're gonna talk to this little girl who's gonna say, hey, my dad's being like kidnapped slash held by Team Galactic. Can you like do something about that? And you know, I guess we'll do something about it. We'll try our best. We're gonna go fight some Team Galactic peeps in here. First, because Valley Windworks is off to just past where that little girl was, but we need the key to get in there first. So we fight these trainers to get the key, and then we can head by there. Not much to say here. It would be a good time for donations because these fights are mainly inconsequential as well, so it would be a good throw for that. We just Ember the Wormhole. This one, Silicoon, is the next one. Again, not very consequential. Especially Silicoon, because Silicoon is just going to harden, even if, you know, even if, like, Gen 1 missing was a thing or something like that, which it isn't, obviously, because we're not in Gen 1. It would not be of consequence. It would probably just harden, and then we would kill in the next turn. Just be slow, if anything. Next trainer is a Zubat. It does take 2 shots to take this Zubat down, unless we get a crit or something. But it can't do enough damage for us to be worried, really. Okay. Let's see what you got. Zubat. Leech life, yeah. Does like 1 damage, yep. Don't use grass moves on us. Like, don't you know anything about Pokemon? Come on. All right, yep, so this part is non-consequential. We get the key, we get some honey as well, which we don't use for anything, but just like to point out that we do get it. It actually would have been better to enter this area on the right side as opposed to the left side, because now this guy's gonna have to go around me. Just a little slower. That's okay. Messed up my movement a wee bit, and he moves quick enough that it's not a problem. Also, that can happen when you accidentally, if you're standing right in front of him and you accidentally mash, then you can talk to him again, which you don't want to do. So, all right, so now we're gonna head over to Valley Windworks. Gonna fight this trainer again, not consequential really. We're just gonna Mach Punch to win. And then we're gonna enter Valley Windworks. Valley Windworks is gonna have our 3rd spinner of 4. And this one, it's the only spin. Oh, actually, no, that's not true. So 2 of the spinners we have to pass twice to get by. The 2nd spinner, which I already passed, and then this one you have to pass twice to get by as well. The 4th spinner, you only have to pass. You only need to pass once. You could pass twice to get an item that he's kind of guarding, but I don't think I need it, so I'm not gonna bother. Okay, so we can enter. I could have taken that. I'm being punished now. I'm gonna heal here. That was really close. I'm gonna get punished again. Ooh, all right, we got by. I don't remember. One thing I never remember is if, like, when you walk up to them, it starts the fight or not. So I'm saving here for Mars just in case something goes sideways. Yeah, good. I'm glad I saved there because I was gonna walk right up to Mars and then save, but then I would have started the fight. That's one thing that's always like absent from my memory is if I can walk right up to them or not. I know in gym leaders you can, but with Mars and another person, Jupiter, later on. So Mars is a commander of Team Galactic, by the way. Again, you just need to fight Mars for story purposes. But Mars is exclusively why we buy the antidotes, because the Zubat can be frustrating, except when you crit it, it don't even matter. So it's fine. All right, now the next Pokemon Mars has is Perugly, which doesn't have the chance to poison us, luckily, but it can be frustrating. We're going to use Rock Smash for the one and only time as a move, as a physical move at least. We're going to hope for Defense Fall here. Okay, I think that's pretty low, though. I'm going to go for it. Let's see if Mach Punch does enough damage. Yes, it did. Okay, perfect. So that actually was like an ideal fight. That was really, really good. Rock Smash can lower defense, or it might not. It just depends. If we didn't get the defense lower, we would then use Leer and then Mach Punch on the next turn. But we didn't have to worry about any of that, so that's good. That fight went pretty well. All right, so we are past 3 out of 4 of our spinners. We're going to be heading towards our second gym leader now, which is Gardenia. Gardenia is a grass type gym leader, which, as you can imagine, is going to go pretty well for us. Not too consequential. But we will be coming up on our 4th and final spinner coming up ahead here. Oop, thank you. Oh, I thought that was a good pass. Ah, that's brutal. This is the worst one to hit, unfortunately. I might even have to heal in the fight here. All of the other spinners that I can think of, I think they all have 1, maybe 2 Pokemon. This one obviously has 4, and they're rock types, so it sucks to hit this one. Yeah, I thought that was a good pass. I'm unfortunate that I hit that one. That's fine. We'll just have to get through it. We're not going to have Mach Punch for much longer anyway, so it's not the end of the world to have to crush through a bunch of these to get through the rock types. Damn, I thought I was going to be pumped if we got through all 4 spinners. That would have been great. But, you know, what can you do? The item that he's guarding, which is like lower than us, it's like below us rather, is a an X attack, which you could opt to use if like your attack is brutal to get through some later fights, but it's really not that big of a deal, and usually at best is probably like a net neutral. It doesn't help out all that much, or it might not help out all that much. Geez, you can't one shot. Oh well, does the burn kill Machop? Let's see. Nope, not quite. I was gonna say can't one shot anything here. One thing you have to be careful too when you're passing spinners, and I don't think I did this, but when I watch this VOD back, I'll definitely take a look. Is that if you run past a spinner, like you hold the B button down to run, you will the running attracts the spinner's attention. So if you're running past the spinner, it will immediately turn to you. I don't think I pressed B. I think I just got unlucky on a bad pass. But if I had pressed B, or like even cleared the start menu with B, whoops, I got a little nervous there. Then that could have been why a spinner pass didn't go the way I wanted. Nope, I meant to turn one tile there. There we go. I forget what her name is, like Cheryl. Yep. So Cheryl is gonna fight in some double battles with us in this forest here. The useful thing about Cheryl is that she heals us to full after each fight. The not so useful part is that it does not apply to this first fight. We have to get past the first fight to get the free heal, and this fight can be a little troublesome depending on what we're given. So hopefully we get some good luck. Basically, the thing that causes us the issue is the Pachirisu, based on the moves that Pachirisu wants to use. Hopefully, Bide is a great one. If we get Bide, we'll be thriving. But you know that doesn't happen often. Okay, so we got the level. So we're gonna have Flame Wheel early. Don't usually have a Flame Wheel this early because I don't usually hit a spinner with 4 Pokemon, but that's all right. All right, Spark on Chansey. That's whatever. It's not us, at least. Ooh, that's a bad crit though, and the Paralyze. Not that it affects us, but just you hate to see it ultimately. If we were like in Blaze or something, and our attack stat was high enough, we might go for the Pachirisu one-shot with Flame Wheel, but we're not really particularly set up to make that work. Ooh, the Paralyze, not move. Chansey might be going down here, which could be scary for us because that means all attention is going to be focused on us, so we don't want that, that's for sure. Just bide, Pachirisu. Just bide. It's all good, man. Nope, Spark on us. Don't paralyze. Ah. I am gonna heal that off because we grabbed a couple extra. Well, we grabbed 1 extra. But I really just don't want to have to get destroyed by this Pachirisu, which we might still anyway. We'll see. Whoa, come on. There you go. Yeah, this fight is not going well. This fight is going particularly badly. Don't paralyze again, please. Alright, we're fine. But yeah, that fight did not go well. That Pachirisu was a real troll. You Spark every time, I think. Every move. Oh, we got by. And like I said, we get free heal after this, so even that Chansey is going to get full. Another double battle here. This one is simple. It's just like straight up Flame Wheel, Flame Wheel. Thanks for the good luck, Bullets. Appreciate you. But yeah, these ones are straight up simple. Hopefully that didn't. Hopefully, Bullets, if you're, that wasn't like an hour ago and I missed it. I'm focusing on commentary a little bit here, and I keep getting my mustache keeps itching my nose. Okay. So yeah, basically we just Flame Wheel. Both. They're both gonna get 1 shot. It's not a problem. Hidden Power, sure. Yeah, it doesn't do much damage, and we're gonna get healed after this anyway. Oh, wow, that actually saves us a turn. Wow. The Egg Bomb crit. Interesting. So that does save us a turn. Thanks, Chansey. Holler. Okay. We're gonna go down here right before the grass. We're going to use our repels. And there's actually no other trainers that we need to fight in this area. So, pretty harmless, except that Pachirisu really wanted to mess with us. All right. Into Eterna City now. We are going to head down directly into the gym. As I mentioned, it's a grass type gym. It's really not much consequence to us. And we're going in full health because we got the free heal. We actually can one-shot everything in this entire gym besides the last Pokemon of the gym leader, which will probably 2-shot unless we get a crit or something. But everything is 1-shot. The unfortunate thing about this gym is that you have to fight every gym trainer in here in order for her to even pop out. It's kind of like the gimmick of the gym. So that does stink, but, you know, can't control it, so just make do with what we got. Basically how it works is that you fight, you get a clue, you fight it, you follow the clue to fight the trainer. The trainer gives you a next clue as to where they are located. Luckily, they're always in the same spots. And honestly, they're not particularly super hidden. You can kind of see their heads popping out. So, doesn't affect too much. Okay. So then we're going to head this way. Nope. Yeah, I will say movement is particularly tricky in this section of the gym. You got the boulders and the trees and everything's in your way. So that is one challenge that this gym provides. All right. So this Aromaly, very interesting fact. So we're gonna flame wheel. She just rolls with 3 Voodoos. However, the second Voodoo that she uses is weak enough in IV and level that we can use Ember instead of Flame Wheel, which we will use because it will save us the text. Ember is shorter text than Flame Wheel, so it will save us ever so slightly amount, a few frames, maybe. But it is faster, so we are speedrunning. We got to do the fast strats. All right, and then last but not least, a Voodoo. Who could have predicted that? Voila. Other than that, yep, this will be a nice donation point because we just have to get through a couple more trainers with 1 Pokemon each that we one-shot. We just have to walk to them, basically. Just like that. This one has a Turtwig. Man, my nose will not stop itching. It's like it knows I'm recording a submission video. Ugh. If you're watching this as a submission video, I promise I'll get my nose under control. Alright, so Flame Wheel. Wabam. And then one more trainer, she's got a Rosalia. Or Rosalia. I don't know the exact pronunciation if it's Rosalia or Rosalia. Both sound good to me, so. Right. And then after this trainer, finally we can take on Gardenia. We can start talking a little bit about what Gardenia has to offer. Not too much, honestly. It's not too stressful of a fight. The only thing that could be stressful is her last Pokemon, which is a Roserade. We're gonna have to Leer and then Flame Wheel it in order to take it out, which gives her a turn to mess with us. And she does have things like Stun Spore and things that could really mess with us, which is why we get the Paralyze Heals. I took a minor... I'm trying to decide if I want to even bother saving here. Yeah, you know what? Just for absolute marathon safety, I'll save here. Just in case, because I do not want to have to run all the way back here from Oraberg, I guess, would be where we would run back here. But yeah, if we got paralyzed twice and we can get stuck in a paralyzed cycle, that could really mess with us. It's pretty unlikely, but just to be safe. Thank you for the good luck, Jose Javier. I appreciate you. All right, so a Flame Wheel, the first 2, they're of no consequence. If we were doing a Manipless run, if we were doing a Manipt run, we might the Turtwig that we're about to fight is a range of 15 and 16 range, which means it will die 15 out of 16 times on average, but there's that 1 in 16 chance that it might not. But that is because we go into this a few levels lower, or maybe not. I guess we don't do that, and it is still 1 in 16 range. Oh well. Well, we'll hit it with the Ember. It's still definitely worth flame wheeling there as opposed to like leering or something. I didn't even know Gardenia would focus on healing the Turtwig, or I would have flame wheeled again. That's fine. Not the end of the world. All right, Roserade. Let's see what we get here. I'm gonna leer. Magical Leaf is fine. Even if it crit, it would have been okay. Poison Sting is also fine. Again, if it poison is not the end of the world. All right, so that Roserade fight actually went better than my PB, but we had a lot of other things that made this split not so great. So, you know, it is what it is. We'll have to heal off the poison. But I probably will wait until I'm outside the gym to do that, because we're going to have to menu in a moment or so to teach cut. So I'll probably wait for that menu just to save us some time. Yeah, it's not super far away. Jeez, my nose, dude. Stop. It will not stop itching. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm just counting how much damage we're taking. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yeah, we're fine. I'm gonna use a super potion anyway, so I just wanted to make sure we weren't gonna die. That would have been annoying because then we had to use a Pokemon Center. But we're not gonna die. Which is always a good thing. So we get cut here. We're gonna teach it right up here. We're gonna go right up to the tree and then teach it. Oop, not save. I'm so used to being on bag instantly there. I'm gonna teach it over Ember. Great. Okay, and then the antidote. Great. Good stuff. All right, so this is the last place that we're gonna have to fight anything in the run, which is the Galactic Building Center. Well, I don't know what it's called. It's called the Galactic Building. We're gonna have to fight a bunch of like galactic runs. Everything in here is really not hard. It ends with fighting Jupiter, another one of the galactic commanders, which Jupiter is also pretty easy. She has Zubat and a Skunk Tank. The Skunk Tank can be kind of annoying depending on what her stats are, but it's usually not that much of an issue. I think the Zubat is also a 15 and 16 range, so if it's going like the rest of the run, I'll probably miss the range. All right, there we go. Flame Wheel. Trying to see if there's like a hair stuck to my face or something that's just like tickling my nose, but. All right, so we head this way. We could fight these two trainers at once, by the way. That's ill-advised, mainly because of the Glameow. The Glameow can cause us some problems and do some damage. This one just has Wurmple and Cascoon. So. The fact also that we'd have to take 2-on-1 where they each have 2 Pokemon, we would probably just take damage that we don't need to take. So it's faster just to mess with them like this, 1v1. Alright. And basically, it is just Flame Wheel to win in this area, and moving correctly. Alright, up a few flights of stairs. Come on. There you go. So 2 more grunts. Well, one grunt and one scientist, because they are different, apparently. And then Jupiter. So 3 more fights in the run. You might be wondering, because, like, we're already an hour and 5 minutes into this, basically. You know, estimates, like, probably going to be in the... somewhere between the 117 and 120 mark. Like, how are we going to finish the game in the next, like, 12 minutes? But you'll see. Gonna blow your mind a little bit. I think it's gonna blow your mind a little bit. All right. Oh, we still have the Zubat, right? Yeah, still have the Zubat. The scientist does have a Kadabra. Kadabras are famously like glass cannons, though, so they hit hard, but they have low special defense, so you can pretty much take them out relatively easy as long as you have even decent stats. All right. Flame Wheel. Shocker. All right, and then up to Jupiter, the final boss of the run. I'm sure that's what Game Freak intended, was that Jupiter was going to be the final boss of the run, but maybe not. Maybe not, you know? You know, can't be sure because we just don't go past this point. Same wheel. All right, 15 and 16 range probably. Yeah, wow, we missed it. Isn't that funny? Well, you know what I say? Take my cut. Ultimately inconsequential, just wastes a turn. I guess theoretically could have poisoned. I don't know if it has like toxic or something like the other Zubat. Maybe it could have poisoned us. I'm not sure. All right, so we're gonna Flame Wheel here. Let's see what we get damage range wise. Yeah, it's pretty low. So we're going to Leer. We also got a lower accuracy move. Twice, which is unfortunate. Okay, hit through, which is good. Kill? No. That's fine. All right, just hit through and we're fine. Ugh. Now realizing I should have saved, by the way, before this fight. Just hit through and we'll be fine. There we go, we're fine. I did have like a momentary panic. I was like, oh man, why didn't I save? But we're okay. We got through. We got through our last fight. Not super fast, but we got through it. Okay, so now what do we do? How are we gonna finish the game? You know, we're at the end here. We're getting right up close to the end. Well, we got a few other things that we need to clean up non-battling wise. First, this is the cycle shop owner, so we're gonna go talk to our boy who owns the cycle shop. Now that he saved us, he's feeling pretty generous. He's gonna give us a bike for free. I have a good feeling about it. Man, I cannot move in this building today for some reason. Okay. Can't move in the building, like I said. All right. Before we even get the bike, though, we are gonna make another story-related pit stop in the Explorers, club, I guess it's called. I don't know. So we can get the Explorer kit. We have to get it for story purposes again. One thing that you can do to save time here is just make sure that you hit no here. And then now we're gonna go get the bike. From our friend. Now this bike, you might be familiar in older generations, this bike is a 2-speed bike, so it has fast and faster basically. We're going to be mainly using the faster section, but there'll be a couple points that we will use just the not as fast section. I'm going to focus on cycling road here just to make sure I don't hit any trainers, so just 1 second. Oop. I did not time that correctly, obviously. Well, it's not hugely consequential, but... So, remember when I said Jupiter was the final boss of the fight? Well, I lied. It's this biker, I guess. Because why not? Yeah, basically, I should have stayed on the right side of the road a little bit longer. But, yeah, what are you going to do, you know? Oh no, Ponyta, don't tackle me. Come on. Alright, we're through. Yeah, you seem to have fallen off your bike. Oh my god. I just freaked. My thumb freaked out. This trainer is almost impossible to hit. You have to run into her directly. And I was trying so hard not to that I hit her. I just could not, my thumb just kept sliding all over that D-pad. But that's okay. I mean, I'm just extending the run for content, you know what I mean? Just wanted you to see Pikachu, the mascot of the Pokemon franchise, of course. Oh, man, yeah. Wow, I've never even gotten to this point where you can learn Feint before. It's not something I've had to do in a run. That's how much extra I've hit. What, I hit 3 extra trainers this run? Jeez. All right, there we go. Okay, so you know, not the smoothest end, but you know what are you gonna do, right? We don't even bother registering the bike, by the way, because this is the only time we have to go in our menu to use it. You might have saw, like, outside the bike shop, I just used the little bike stand to get on my bike. Then when we enter cycling road, we automatically start on our bike because you can't do anything else. And then when we get here is the only time we have to menu, so we don't even have to bother registering it. All right. Okay, we are going to use a repel here. And we are going to slow bike this just for safety, and then we can fast bike. Just did not want to hit that trainer, basically. All right, and then we are going to do the main trick of this game, which is called tweaking. I'm going to focus on it for a second, and then I'll kind of explain what it is that we're doing. Nope, not quite. That should be fine, actually. Let's see. Yep, that is good. So basically what we do is we go to a point where there are a lot of different loading zones. Basically like transition points. And then we flick between them really fast so that the game loads areas incorrectly. So by doing that, you know, I'm now inside of a building, but I'm also going to be kind of in this black void. You know, it doesn't really make sense. And we're just going to come over here. There we go. This way. Then we're going to wait for Veilstone Store and then stop and save. Then we're going to reload the save again. Then we're just going to walk one top. Basically, we're stuck in the void. We're warping through walls. We're warping through buildings because the game just does not know how to load itself right now. It is just confused. So we're going to go one tile to the left here, enter the Pokemon League. Save and reload again. And then that's actually the last reload that we're going to do. And now we're just going to hold left, and we're going to be entering the Hall of Fame. Isn't it funny how that works out? And there we are. Hall of Fame. Time is coming up. You can't see it. Rowan and Cynthia are there. You just can't see it. It's like we just beat Cynthia to get through the Elite Four, you know? All right. Time's coming up on the black screen. And time. There it is. There it is. Rough ending. Hit a couple extra trainers, but basically, you know, sometimes it'd be like that. But yeah, that is Pokemon Pearl any percent Manipless. Thank you for watching. Thank you for consideration in your marathon. Like I said, we got some bid wars to do. We got some, you know, incentives that we can plug for this run as well. So it'd be great to include for your charity event. I appreciate it. Thanks so much.